Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Ranjit Puri, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished friends from sugar industry, President of STI, Mr. Avasthi, and council members of Avasthi. I'm really honored to be invited and asked to speak on this convention. And I'm very grateful to Mr. Avasthi for giving me this opportunity. I'm really very excited that this convention is happening in Calcutta. This is my city. I've lived here all my life. I still live here. And I hope you people really enjoy this city. Even though we have lost some prominence in our industrial activity, the city still remains full of soul and caring. And I welcome all of you to enjoy it. Calcutta also happens to be the greatest sugar consumer, so I think it's very appropriate that this is happening in Calcutta. It's also appropriate that the International Sugar Expo is organizing together with it, and I look forward to the opportunity of interacting with exhibitors and the friends from this industry. I joined this industry only 10 years ago. I was looking after many other things, but this fell into my lap. It was in the family, and I had to take charge of it. And I've been seeing the ups and downs of this industry. In the last 2 years, the industry has changed its normal way of working, which was shortages after every 3 years and then again surpluses. And we are all thinking of how to add more value in new ways to the sugar cane, which is our basic raw material. The problem really has become of plenty, and industry is being nudged by the government to become an ethanol producer more than a sugar producer. And we're talking about a 50,000 crore market. But I think sugarcane is almost 80% of the cost of sugar, and the sugar will remain the main product of our industry. We really have to think in terms of what work we can do to improve in sugarcane growing so that the cost of growing sugarcane comes down. It's been exhibited that the cost of sugarcane growing can come down drastically, almost 50%. I mean, UP has been a real success story in terms of sugarcane in the last 2-3 years. My factory is located in South India, in Telangana, where the problems are completely different. I mean, earlier when I joined the industry, we were at a recovery of 11 to 12%, and we thought we were kings. We never looked at water, and we never looked at the problem of discovering new varieties and growing sugarcane in a better manner. And I think what we need in sugarcane agriculture is look at areas differently. Each area is completely different, the soil is different, the water availability is different, and I really fear for Tamil Nadu, South Karnataka, AP, Telangana, as to how things will move forward. And I hope that in these deliberations, something as we talked about, I saw the Coimbatore Breeding Institute being given the award for drought-resistant varieties, and I think that would be the direction for this. Mr. Mohan already talked about the quality of sugar. I think with so much sugar available, the quality of sugar is becoming very important, and we need to focus on the improvement of quality of sugar as well as, of course, the cost of production of sugar. Climate change is very important, and new technologies have been discussed a lot. But I think the traditional way of looking at effluents will not work. We really have to come to a stage where sugar does not remain a polluting industry. We are still not so conscious about it. We still live in a world where we think that the pollution problem will go away. It's not going to go away, and it's on us to see that we become a pollution-free country. One of the problems which struck me when I entered the sugar industry is it's such a huge infrastructure which need to build up when we do a sugar industry. But we run only 4 to 5 months. 7 to 8 months, this entire infrastructure of sugar industry lies closed. Can't we utilize it for some other purpose? I don't know. And do we really need to do that much maintenance for 7, 8 months so that we are able to operate 4 months? I can't think of any industry where you just work 4 or 5 months and the entire machinery remains idle for such a long period. And people are constantly worrying about what to maintain and not to maintain. I think we need to look at utilizing this infrastructure for something else, and also whether that kind of maintenance work is required during those 7, 8 months. With more sugar being produced and consumed, I think we need to diversify use of cane, and obvious candidate today is ethanol. We have to look further ahead about whether ethanol can be converted into many more value-added products like chemicals, and I think work is going on, but we have to have in mind that whether sugar industry becomes a producer of much higher value addition products than just ethanol. Power generation, we all know, is becoming less attractive, and hardly any PPAs are being signed. The wind power and solar power is being given prominence because they are doing the PPA at a much lower rate. But obviously that comes with a lot of subsidy, which we don't talk about it. If we were given the same subsidy, we can definitely compete with the wind and solar energies. But as somebody already remarked, that the bagasse can be used for much other products, and I look forward to listening to the distinguished speakers. But among the many things which I think is possible, I'm not sure of it, but I'll mention this. And I think there should be a better integration between the industry research organization, the industry itself, and the academia. The kind of interaction where we need people from academia to join sugar industry, where we need research institutes to interact more with sugar industry and industry to interact with the research institute, it's not there. We are not that closely connected as we should be. It's only a few people who have been connected, few mills who have been much more forward-looking in that, but many of us are out of it. I think a lot of technology is available, and we need to adopt them. The more we adopt without worrying about failures, I think more progress we'll make. I think innovation comes not only from the institutes, it also comes at the floor level, by where real problems are solved, and they need to be encouraged. I came here more as a listener. I only expressed this as to what came into my mind, so that I get a feedback and I understand this. Let's work together for the common good of the industry. Last but not the least, I congratulate President Stai and his team who took the trouble of organizing the convention and bringing so many people together. Thank you very much for giving me this chance to speak up here. Thank you.